We'll be getting started in about 5 minutes, so please feel free to use the restroom and start taking your seats. Thank you. Hi, everyone. We're going to get started, so please feel free to take your seats. Aloha, and thank you for joining us for today's announcement with Google and Hawaii Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke. This announcement is part of Connect Kākou, Hawaii's initiative that encompasses all broadband efforts across the state. So it's very fitting we are here in Kākou at the Entrepreneur Sandbox, a community center for creativity, entrepreneurship, innovation, and technology. So first we will hear from our speakers, followed by a Q&A from the media. Media, if you are attending virtually, please text your questions and your news organization to the phone number provided in the advisory. Now I would like to welcome Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke, Benji Robinson of Google, and Consul General of Japan in Honolulu, Yoshinori Kodama.
Good morning and aloha. Last year, our office launched Connect Kākou, our state's initiative to bring reliable internet to all of Hawaii. As connectivity has become increasingly necessary in our lives, we must ensure that every person in our state has reliable access to high-speed internet, and that starts with infrastructure. With our unique geography, Hawaii depends heavily on undersea cables that are the foundation of our ability to connect, including access to healthcare, education, finances, social services, and connection to friends and family throughout the state. In Hawaii, our connectivity is reliant on 3 major undersea cables, and 2 of these cables are nearing the end of their operational lifespans. That is something that is really critical for Hawaii residents to understand. Hawaii has been bypassed, in fact, over the years and has not seen recent significant upgrades to existing undersea cables. Connect Kākou has actively sought opportunities to address that vulnerability of our existing infrastructures and ensure that everyone from Keiki to Kupuna can get online. That's why we are so excited today to welcome Google's $1 billion investment as part of its Pacific Connect initiative, which includes 3 exciting developments. As you can see by the graph, the map behind us, the first is Google's new Taihei cable, which will connect Hawaii directly to Japan. The second is the connection of Tabua cable, which connects Hawaii not just with the continental US, but with Fiji and Australia. And lastly, Interlink will connect Hawaii to Guam. These are not just simply upgrades to old systems. They are brand new undersea cables and essential to keeping Hawaii connected to the entire world. On behalf of our state, I want to thank Google for this significant investment in our communities in progressing digital infrastructure. We are grateful for this partnership, the enhanced connectivity for our communities, and the economic opportunities that it will provide. This will ensure that thousands of our families, businesses, institutions that depend on reliable, high-speed internet will not get left behind. I would like to acknowledge and thank Consul General of Japan, Yoshinori Kodama, for being here and for Japan's partnership in addressing digital equity. I'll now turn it over to Benji Robinson, Director of Asia Pacific Network Planning and Acquisition, who will provide an overview of Google's Pacific Connect initiative, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Aloha, and thank you, Lieutenant Governor Luke, Consul General. It's an honor to join you here today to recognize the Pacific Connect initiative. Thank you. and the subsea cables landing in the great state of Hawaii. My name is Benji Robinson. I'm the Director of Network Planning and Acquisition for Google's Asia Pacific region. I'm but one of many that have been working on the planning, design, and now the construction of this ambitious project. As the Lieutenant Governor just mentioned, on April 10th, we announced several new cables that would land connecting Hawaii, including Taihei, a cable connecting Hawaii directly to Japan. We announced an extension to Hawaii off the cable Tabua, which connects the U.S. to Fiji and Australia. And we announced the interlink cable that connects Hawaii to Guam and Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. With this, Hawaii now becomes a key digital hub in the Pacific. Submarine cables are the backbone of the internet. Human connectivity today depends on them more than any other kind of infrastructure. And you should be proud that Hawaii is now a center of that connectivity. These cables are being built in concert with a number of the other companies and governments, including the state of Hawaii. Companies like Vocus, Fintel, OPT, Telstra, and governments including CNMI and Guam. I want to thank these partners for their strong contributions to date. The cables are evidence of our partners' commitments to bridging the digital divide and strengthening the telecommunication infrastructure throughout the Pacific. Building cables of this size and scope are multi-year projects, often taking 3 to 5 years to complete construction. We are targeting the earliest completion dates of these cables in 2026, though that will depend on a variety of factors, even including the weather. One of the common questions we get at Google is, why are you building submarine cables? And the answer to that question is rooted in our desire to deliver on 3 core objectives for our network: reach, reliability, and resilience. Reach refers to increasing global connectivity and reducing the digital divide. Many of us have become accustomed to accessing high bandwidth internet services on devices like our phones, tablets, or laptops. This enables us to access video calls anytime, anyplace, anywhere. There are still many places in the world, particularly throughout the Pacific, where the internet is not robust enough to allow for this type of communication. The Pacific Connect initiative aims to reduce the digital divide in the Pacific in a significant way. The second principle is reliability. With the advent of cloud and more digitization of the world, society depends on the internet. Core industries around healthcare, education, and even shopping are now heavily dependent on a reliable internet. Reliability is achieved by creating many diverse pathways within the network for data and services. And the third guiding principle is resilience, utilizing technology to allow for rapid recovery of internet services. We know bad days will happen. Hurricanes and typhoons cause power outages, and that can take down the internet. We can use technology to rapidly recover and reroute and restore services when these events occur. These 3 R's, reach, reliability, and resilience, are key objectives of Pacific Connect. In addition to these, we focus on sustainability and minimizing the environmental impact of our infrastructure. We anchor on local partnerships, as I mentioned before, and we are committed to building an open internet, which means others can build on the investments that we make. We also get asked, what is this actually going to look like? What will we see? And for most of us, the most visible part is the cable landing station itself. That's where the power equipment is housed and the optical equipment that sits behind the power gear. There is one at each end of the locations, each end of the cable, and at each of the branches off of the cable. The rest, the cable itself, is largely underwater, and portions of it are already in the water as we speak. These cables are very small, about the size of a garden hose in most places. I'll be leaving this with Lieutenant Governor as a leave behind, but this is an example of our submarine cables where they're only about the size of a garden hose. but their impact on connecting people and businesses and governments is huge. And we are extremely excited to be a part of this initiative with you. We look forward to working closely with the state of Hawaii in completing these cables very soon. Thank you, and mahalo nui loa.
Thank you very much. We'll now open it up to some questions from the media. We'll start with media that might be attending in person. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Go ahead.
Are there any, do we know which communities specifically might notice the changes or the impacts of having these new subsea lines?
The question is from Star Advertiser regarding which communities will be impacted by the subsea lines. Answering the question will be Garrett Yoshimi, Vice President of Information Technology and Chief Information Officer, University of Hawaii.
Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate the question. So the great answer, or the best answer, is everybody. So part of this is really to give us the backbone to connect to the rest of the world. Thank you to Google for the substantial private investment to make this happen. Then connected together with some of the initiatives that are funded by the federal government and state government, we really put the rest of the connection pieces in place to take advantage of the huge overseas investment to make sure that Hawaii can connect. So everybody in Hawaii can connect to the rest of the world.
Thank you, Garrett. Any additional questions from the audience or from media attending? We did have a question virtually. This question is from Kevin Dayton at Civil Beat. This line was originally going to bypass Hawaii. What changed? And I believe Benji, would you mind taking this one? Thank you.
Yes, great question. When we originally designed these cables, oftentimes not all of the landing locations are identified. And the cables are designed to have flexibility in them such that we can make those choices after the cable's actually in production. So that is an instance of this example where some of those decisions have come together here after the cable was actually initiated.
Thank you. Any follow-up questions? Okay, at this time, I'd like to welcome back Lieutenant Governor for some closing remarks. Thank you.
As you can see, this is such exciting news. And, you know, in the state of Hawaii, we're just reminded back in just 2019, just several years ago, where connection between Oahu and Kauai was cut. And a lot of folks on Kauai was left without any kind of internet connection. But that just happened to one of our islands. Can you imagine if the entire state is left behind by the world? And that's what's been going on. As more and more undersea cables have bypassed us, this is such a significant development that Google has made a commitment not just to add one connection to the state of Hawaii, but if you look at the map behind me, 3 connections to the state of Hawaii. That is what reliable redundancy is about. And as our office continue to work on Connect Kākou, which is to build resilience and redundancy and ensure that we close that digital divide, it is essential that we have this connection to the world. We just can't thank our partners enough, not just Google, with the country of Japan, with so many other partners. I specifically want to thank all the partners who are present here. With the legislature, Scott Saiki, Speaker of the House, thank you for being here. We have representation from the congressional offices, Jackie and many others, thank you for being here. And then we also have industry partners, so many folks who are involved in telecommunication, just with high technology industries. We have incumbent providers who are here. Thank you so much for being here. The reason why so many people are here is because everyone here understands the importance of this connection and the significance improvement that this will make for not just few individuals, but this will touch everybody within our state. And lastly, thanks to the broadband office led by Chung Chang. Thank you so much. This Google's Pacific Connect initiative represents a significant step forward, and we can't thank you enough. So thank you for being here. Mahalo.
Well, thank you again for joining us for this very exciting announcement. This does conclude the formal part of the press conference. A full recording can be found on the Lieutenant Governor's Facebook page. Mahalo for joining us, and we would like to invite our partners in the audience up for a photo.